value of just compensation is simply the amount that a willing buyer who didn't have to buy would pay a willing seller who didn't have to sell if both were knowledgeable and typically motivated, acting in the marketplace where the property, which is called the subject property, that's the property that's the subject matter of a given analysis or lawsuit, the marketplace where that subject property is located. Well, we've got to remember that every property is unique. That's just one of the interesting things about real estate. You very rarely find properties that are even similar. Sometimes you do, as can sometimes happen in a situation with a development where there were a lot of uniform houses built, but most of the time we find that properties are very different. Even properties that are next door can have different size buildings with different uses that are oriented different ways and lend themselves to different things. So the first thing to remember is that properties are all different. And then the second thing to remember is that often properties are not at any given point in time being used in the way that is most economically valuable. So for example, sometimes you'll have a piece of property that is being cultivated as a farm. However, it's located in such a place that, really no one would sell it at the value of farmland. They would sell it at the value of commercial land, perhaps, if the property was located in a place where a commercial establishment would like to go, like a location that lent itself to building, say, a strip mall or a gas station or something along those lines. And if that was the case, then the property owner would have to analyze their situation and say, yeah, I am using this property for agriculture right now, but the highest and best use of the property is commercial. And if they could prove that in a court of law, then they would be compensated for the value of commercial property instead of the value of agricultural property. And what goes into proving something like that in a court of law is, of course, proving that the proposed highest and best use is economically feasible, physically possible, legally possible, and the most advantageous use. And each of those things has to be proven in order to prove that a use other than the actual use is in fact the highest and best use.